Now, as tensions in the Middle East escalate, India has begun a phased evacuation of its citizens from Iran. The first batch of Indian students has been safely relocated, with 110 reaching the Armenian border. In all, over 600 students have been moved out of Tehran, which is Iran's capital city, to safer locations. So that, of course, is one very critical development with respect to the fate of Indian students who are currently stranded in conflict-hit Iran. They've been moved to safer locations, including the border with Armenia, so that they can be safely evacuated from there and brought back to India. Those are some of the visuals that you see on the left of your screen of Indian students waiting to depart to safer areas in Iran, as well. As many as 600 students have been relocated from Tehran to safer places. 110 have managed to reach the Armenian border, and eventually, of course, they'll be evacuated from there and brought back to India. So that's the statement that's been released by the Ministry of External Affairs. Indian students in Tehran have been moved out of the city for reasons of safety through arrangements made by the embassy, it says. Other residents who are self-sufficient in terms of transport have been advised to move out of the city in view of the developing situation. Separately, some Indians have been facilitated to leave Iran through the border with Armenia. The embassy remains continuously in touch with the community with a view to extending all feasible assistance. Further advisories may be issued given the fluid situation. So that, of course, is the message that's coming out from the MEA, a primer to basically its citizens currently stranded in Iran. Let me go across to my colleague Srinjoy for more on this. Srinjoy, this is something that sends a chilling reminder of what happened during Operation Ganga a couple of years ago in Ukraine, when more than 10,000 stranded Indian students were actually brought back to India. Right now, of course, the priority as far as Iran is concerned is to move our citizens there to safer locations, including the border with Armenia, eventually paving the way for an evacuation back to India.
There are fewer Indians in Tehran and also probably Iran than there were in Ukraine. There were all of 20,000 students in Ukraine, and all of them, almost all of them, were brought back very safely. And every other country in the region, whether it was Poland or Hungary or Slovakia, Romania, they all helped. Here too, the Iranians naturally are helping. The idea is to get the Indian students to a safer location close to the Armenian border, where there are no nuclear installations, for one. And then once they are there, they can be brought back to India fairly easily.
Enjoy, stay with us. We're also currently joined by Syed Mohammad Yusuf, who's a teacher of students stranded in Iran. मोहम्मद यूशा जी, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया हमसे जुड़ने के लिए. सबसे पहली बात, आपको क्या इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल रहा है? सबसे पहली बात, आपको क्या इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल रहा है उन स्टूडेंट्स के बारे में जो फिलहाल ईरान में अभी स्ट्रैंडेड है?
हमारे कर्नाटक अलीपुर के
जी
कुछ स्टूडेंट वहाँ पर हैं, कुम में और मशहद में. अभी उनसे हम लोग राबते में हैं. यहाँ से भी पुलिस वगैरह से फोन भी आया था कि डिटेल्स मांगा हमसे, और हमने डिटेल्स वगैरह भी दे दिए हैं. फिलहाल जो वहाँ पर स्टूडेंट्स हैं वो इस्लामिक स्टडीज के लिए गए हैं कुम और मशहद में, और कुछ स्टूडेंट्स हैं जो तेहरान में MBBS करने के लिए गए हैं, वो भी अलीपुर के हैं. उनके डिटेल्स भी हम लोग दे दिए हैं, और फिलहाल वो सेफ जगह पर हैं, आराम से हैं. ऐसे कोई परेशानी की बात उनकी तरफ से नहीं आई.
और मोहम्मद यूशा जी, क्या अभी भी आप स्टूडेंट्स के साथ संपर्क में हैं? आपकी बातचीत उनसे कब हुई? उन्होंने आपसे क्या कहा?
जी, अभी कल ही बातचीत हुई है. जो कुम में है, तेहरान के नजदीक कुम में और मशहद में, उन लोगों से बात हुई है. वो फिलहाल आराम से हैं, कोई ऐसी परेशानी की बात नहीं है. जो लोग तेहरान में हैं MBBS जो कर रहे थे, शायद उनके लिए कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स हैं. वो भी जो है इसके राबते में हैं पुलिस वगैरह के. वहाँ एम्बेसी, इंडियन एम्बेसी ने भी उनसे राबता किया है, और सारे डिटेल्स उनको हम दे दिए.
एक आखिरी सवाल आपसे सर कि क्या जो स्टूडेंट्स अभी फिलहाल आपके साथ संपर्क में हैं, चाहे वो कुम में हो या फिर तेहरान के पास हो, जिस एमबीबीएस स्टूडेंट्स के बारे में आप बात कर रहे थे, क्या उनकी कांटेक्ट हुई है वहाँ के मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स, हमारे मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स से या फिर इंडियन एम्बेसी से, और क्या उन्हें अभी वापस लाया जाएगा? क्या इंस्ट्रक्शंस दिए गए हैं उनको?
जी, अभी उन्होंने ये किया, राबता किया है वहां से और पूरे डिटेल्स वगैरह मांगे हैं, सब डिटेल्स उनको दे दिए हैं। जो तेहरान में हैं, एमबीबीएस कर रहे थे तेहरान और दूसरे सिटीज में, और जो कुम में हैं उनके भी डिटेल्स दे दिए हैं। अभी तक वहां से शायद इंडियन एम्बेसी से उनसे राबता किया गया है, वो उनके संपर्क में है। अभी उसके बाद कल से अब तक कोई खबर नहीं है कि क्या हुआ है, लेकिन हम उनसे राबते में हैं। जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं वो बिल्कुल सेफ हैं जो कुम में हैं। जी,
उम्मीद रहेगी कि वो सेफ रहे और उनका संपर्क हो वहाँ इंडियन एम्बेसी के साथ, अगर उन्हें वापस लाने की कोई कोशिश की जा रही है तो। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया मिस्टर यूशा हमसे बात करने के लिए। श्रृंजॉय, this is of course something that's an evolving situation as far as Iran is concerned, and like you said, and purely in terms of scale when compared to Ukraine, getting back the number of Indian citizens who are currently stranded in Iran will not appear to be the kind of humongous task that Ukraine certainly was. But how is the MEA now expected to take this forward? Because while there's been an evacuation of Tehran that's been ordered as far as Indian citizens are concerned, there are people living in the surrounding areas as well. Some of them, of course, have been asked to move to the Armenian border. But how else is the MEA now expected to get them back here?
The whole point is that everyone will be asked if they want to move.
Correct.
And if they feel they are safe, they will be there. If they think they're not in a very great shape and they think they are in danger or in trouble, then the MEA will help out. So if you're in Tehran, it's likely that there can be trouble. So you move out to the Armenian border, and from there you can be taken away. So it's really up to the people, Indian people in Iran. If they feel that they are in danger, they can tell the MEA, they can tell the Indian embassy in Tehran, and some arrangements will be made. But if they feel they are happy and they want to stay on, well, they are welcome to stay on. That's the usual plan that the MEA usually has.
Of course, the citizens there, the Indian citizens who are stranded there, will be given a choice. But Shrinjoy, India has a very proud record when it comes to evacuation operations of this nature, especially from conflict zones. One can even go back to the large-scale evacuation of Indian citizens from Kuwait following the Iraqi invasion of Kuwait in 1990-1991. So therefore, this is something that the MEA is very well versed with. It's almost second nature now for it to get involved in operations of this nature and successfully evacuate Indian citizens back. So even for those Indian citizens who are currently stranded and do wish to come back to India, well, they're in safe hands.
Yeah, there's no problem because the arrangements can be made. It's not so difficult as of now in Iran. Ukraine was probably much more difficult. And there are fewer number of students here, fewer number of people who are here who are stranded, and those of who do want to come back, this arrangement can be made.
All right, Shrinjoy, many thanks for your perspective on this developing situation. We'll slip into a short break right now. We'll come back with more on the other side.